In the Blue Jackets dressing room here tonight, Brandon Dubinsky is he's at his stall. Let's listen in.
Performance you wanted to have after playing pretty well. I know you didn't get the result in Florida, but this club played pretty well in those 2 games. Really in the past 6, as Richard said yesterday. So.
Yeah, we weren't ready to start on time today, and it showed from the first shift. We found a way to tie the game up, but we got to be ready to go. And they won some battles in front of our net, and we didn't win enough battles in front of their net, and that was certainly a difference too.
That fight that you had with Chip Chura, was that your way of saying to everybody, look, it's time to wake up, we've got to get something going here?
Yeah, a little bit, and a little bit for myself too. I'm relied upon a lot in this dressing room right now, and I'm disappointed in myself. I got to come up with some big plays for this team and help this team win. And if I'm not coming up with those big plays, then it hurts our team. So I got to find my game too.
I think the urgency just wasn't there, like you said. It just wasn't there at the start. And what do you chalk that up to?
I don't have an answer for that.
You talked about not getting enough traffic in front of their goal or not getting close enough to their net. That's something that you guys have been talking about the last couple of games. How do you get that back to where you had it, especially when you were having success?
Yeah, it's just desperation in front of the net. It's just going there and being willing to win battles. And he kicked a lot of rebounds out today, so there were some opportunities. It's about putting yourself in the right place first, and then making sure that you find a way to win the battle.
Brandon Dubinsky talking there is we'll move out, and some others are going to move in. Let's go over to James Wisniewski here and talk with him, kind of trading places, if you will. Here's James Wisniewski.
Just how much does that take out of you? Because you're starting to feel it at 1-1, I think, in this game, and then boom.
Yeah, started playing a little bit better. Last 5 minutes of the first period, we started playing better, and we got a power play goal, and things, we're picking up, and then I get my penalty, and they score on the power play right away. Yeah. And then they get another power play and score right away.
Yeah. How much has the outlook here changed in the last 3 or 4 games with these losses now? I feel like you guys felt like you were sort of still alive to get back into this thing. Does it feel like it's changed at all?
I mean, I don't think anybody in here is thinking that we're going to quit. I mean, I wouldn't want them in our organization if they were thinking that, but we're definitely in a big hole, and it's a slippery slope. We don't want to get that losing feeling back into this room. We don't like that attitude. We want to be winners, so we want to finish this year off strong and see what happens.
James, you talked about how you got a goal and then they came back and got a goal. That's happened quite frequently here lately. Is there anything you can attribute to why that's all of a sudden started to kind of rear its head?
I have no idea. I mean, that goes upon the guys in the next shift, and just having pride into carrying the momentum and doing that. So I took a penalty, and it looks like it just took the wind out of our sails.
Yeah, and the wind that wasn't in the sails early in the first period today, it's kind of like it was a real slow start, and kind of you needed a kickstart to get going in this game today. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, for some reason we've been very inconsistent in starting the games on time. Some games we come out flying. Florida, we came out playing really well. Tampa Bay, I thought we played well. Washington, we played well. And other games we just decide not to come out and kind of feel around, see how the game's going to be before. They're playing hard, so we got to amp it up a little bit.
Does any of that have to do with the fact when you play Tampa, you know how they're going to start. You know what they do. You know where they stand in the standings, or maybe more mentally ready. And when you play a team like this, you're going, well, we have to see what they're going to be like because they're kind of in a similar spot. They're on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, but you got to be a professional. I mean, you have to want to carry the game. You want to have every game the other team being like, wow, man, they come out flying. In the locker room before the game, knowing that they're like, hey, boys, you better be ready to play because these guys are going to be coming out. And right now, I don't think we can say that.
Thanks, Wiz. Thanks. James Wisniewski, candid and right on the mark with those comments. Always appreciated from him as the Blue Jackets lose this one tonight to the Arizona Coyotes 4-1, the final score in this game. We've got much more coming up. Head coach Todd Richards will be making his way down the hall to the podium. We'll hear what he has to say as we continue here at BlueJackets.com and on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.
NHL Ticket Exchange gives ticket holders a sure shot at getting in. It's the only official ticket exchange of the NHL, where every Blue Jackets ticket is verified by Ticketmaster. This is how the NHL does it. You don't get somebody's old ticket, but a new one reissued just for you. Don't get burned by ticket fraud. Buy or sell at NHL.com/ticket exchange.
He shoots. He scores!
NHL Ticket Exchange is a trademark of the National Hockey League.
Hey, Dad.
Yes?
Did you know Conn's potato chips are made locally in Zanesville, Ohio?
That's one of the reasons I love Conn's. Ohio proud, locally made, and fresh. They've been in business for over 78 years. Family owned and operated.
Conn's is the first official chip of our favorite hockey team, the Cons.
Great news!
Great potato chips taste like Conn's, and great hockey teams play like the Blue Jackets.
Do you know a hockey mom who deserves to be this year's Marzetti Youth Hockey Mom of the Year? We want to know. Visit BlueJackets.com/HockeyMom and tell us why. It's easy to nominate a hockey mom, whether it's to thank her for all of those early morning rides to the rink, delicious dinners after a long practice, or for always being your #1 supporter. Anyone can nominate an outstanding hockey mom. Help Marzetti find this year's Marzetti Youth Hockey Mom of the Year and thank your mom today at BlueJackets.com/HockeyMom.
Here's a AAA Hard Driving Day update. With AAA, you don't have to worry about what happens if you slide off the road in snowy weather like this. Because with one phone call, AAA Roadside Assistance is on its way.
2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes.
AAA.com. AAA, the card of the American driver. Here's a AAA Hard Driving Day update. Cold weather like this can put a real strain on your battery. AAA members can get a factory-approved replacement battery installed right in their own driveway. If you're not a member, go to AAA.com to join right away. AAA, the card of the American driver.
As our Columbus Blue Jackets battle to defend Nationwide Arena, battle your hunger anytime with the new Papa John's Defender. A large double
Minute 30.
pepperoni 3-cheese pizza with Italian seasoning for only $11. Get yours today. Call or order online at papajohns.com. Papa John's, the official pizza of your Columbus Blue Jackets.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Stay organized and be ready to tackle any game day purchase decisions with Virtual Wallet from PNC Bank. The Money Bar feature lets you move your money with a simple slide.
1 minute.
The Calendar feature helps you track your spending, like bills, rent, and of course, nachos. Visit PNCVirtualWallet.com for details. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. PNC Bank is a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets. PNC Bank.
All right, 45 seconds.
Association, member FDIC. Join the battle from everywhere with the Blue Jackets mobile app. Follow every shot, goal, and penalty with live game updates and listen to the Blue Jackets Radio Network broadcast. Plus, get breaking
30
news,
seconds.
highlights, live video programming, customized game alerts, and all the great feature content from BlueJackets.com at your fingertips. Download the Blue Jackets mobile app now on the App Store, Google
20
Play,
seconds.
or text CBJ app to 37664. That's CBJ
15
app
seconds.
to 37664.
All right, 10 seconds till music. Stand by. 5 seconds till music.
Blue Jackets lose tonight to Arizona 4-1. Head coach Todd Richards at the podium. Let's listen in.
We weren't. There were some guys that were ready to go, but we didn't have enough that were ready to start the game. And you could tell in the first 10 minutes. And then Dubinsky got into a fight, got some emotion going, and we were better after that. Score a power play goal, and then we take a couple penalties, and it leads to 2 of their goals. But I don't look at that and say that's the difference. We didn't start the game on time.
This is their last game on a road trip and your first game back. As a coach, how frustrating is that to be the team that's not with the jump on this when they should be the team that's the most gassed, you would think?
it's disappointing, especially the way we played really the last 3 games. Thought we played hard, thought we played fast, and we came out tonight and they were the faster team, the more disciplined team as far as how they executed their system. It was simple. They dumped it in, they forechecked, and they were hard on the pucks. And we spent the first 10 minutes in our own zone.
It's been a while since you've referenced having some passengers. Why do you think tonight, I mean, especially coming off a stretch where you thought you played pretty well in these last 6 and played pretty well in Florida?
Why do I think that? That's a question. Why are some guys ready to go? Preparation, focus. Why tonight? Well, you would think that we'd come out and play. I don't have an answer for it because it's you're professional. This is what you get paid to do. Come out and play. And we weren't ready to go.
Can you just speak to how quickly this thing can get away on you in terms of the season, where a couple players mentioned not wanting the losing attitude to creep in, and I know you guys feel like you're still in it, but a couple more of these and it's going to look really, really bleak and maybe.
It's well, for me, it's just I'm not focused on where we end up. I'm focused on the process and the game tonight. And the process tonight compared to our previous 3 games wasn't good. Wasn't even close to where our compete, our battle, our focus for 60 minutes was in Tampa.
What'd you make of your goaltender tonight? Do you feel a little bit for him, given the play in front of him and really 2 out of the three games he's played?
I thought he was fine. He certainly wasn't the issue. I think the first power play goal went between his legs, I believe, and maybe that's one he could have had. But he made some big saves and kept us in it. At least gave us a chance to get started into the game. So I don't come out of the game concerned about him or the goalie, or I'm not concerned about him. He's not the reason. Again, we got other guys that we need more out of.
We talked a lot this morning about Kevin moving up with that 4th line. What did you see there? Anything that you
no, he
give you confidence out of that?
No, Kevin was fine. There were no problems, and Leo was fine too. And we moved him back, Kevin back on the point in the 3rd, just to try to generate some speed and something coming out of our own zone. Thanks.
Jody, Shelley joining me now as the Blue Jackets wrap this up tonight, 4-1. They lose to the Arizona Coyotes. You heard what Todd Richards had to say. Players pretty much had to say the same thing. Jody, you were a player, and I'm sure there were plenty of nights where your team went out on the ice and they weren't ready for whatever reason. Everybody says they don't know why. There's no answer to that, but you've seen it before. Did it surprise you that they did that tonight?
You know what? We've been in games too where they weren't ready to start, but they got the outcome. Okay, so there's going to be a lull in the game, a pushback at some point. Arizona's coming off a nice win. They came out, they were ready to play. They initiated the play. Sure, ideally, I mean, Todd prepared these guys the last day and a half, starting yesterday, for this game tonight. And his group goes out there. So as a coach, that's disappointing. But you put that behind you. Dubinsky has the fight. Emotions back in the building. You could see the push starting to come. And then the penalties, and Arizona gets the 2 power play goals, and you're back on your heels. I thought there was some good speed in the 3rd period. Another push. Atkinson got his feet going. But where is the package of the Blue Jacket hockey? That's what I think we all are wondering. These guys got their 4 centermen back that they were promised in the beginning of the year. You got 7 defensemen playing. That's not a big deal. These guys know how to play the positions they're in. They know what they're going to do every given night. They all just want to be in the lineup and contribute. But where is that blue-collar identity that goes shift after shift after shift? And I think that's what leaves us scratching our head, because if they would have brought that tonight, they would have beat this team. But, okay, they didn't start well, but I thought there was glimpses of it. But they need to continually roll that way. That's the only way this team can win, as a committee. Play defense as a committee, lead by a committee, and just win by committee. But they're not doing that right now, and I think that's why we're seeing Todd Richards showing the frustration in his face and in his answers. And I think the guys in the room have the same thing. What is going on? So they've got to get back at it now and get this losing feeling out of the room. I think Wisniewski brought that up. Don't let that come in. Get some wins, do things right, and finish the season right.
Now, all of that being said, I think you do also have to credit Arizona in this fact. They're at the end of a long road trip. They've been on the road for weeks. They were 8 games on the road. They've been all over the place. They were tired. They want to go home with a win. And once there was that energy, I thought they did a really good job of making sure it's put it over the glass, put it in the bench, wherever you have to put it. Offside call, okay, we'll take it. We'll slow it down. They just sucked the life out of the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets didn't have enough life at the start. Once they got life, I felt the Coyotes took it away from them.
That's a very, very, very good point. Maybe that's why we all felt frustrated too. Then the players trying to get things going, puck gets tipped by a stick. There's a whistle. Mike Smith, who has been struggling as a goaltender, gets in tonight and just holds every puck that comes towards him, stops the play. Dave Tippett used a timeout early in the game to kind of preserve that lead he had. Urgency was there, and yeah, you're right. They chopped it up all night long and really kept the Blue Jackets out of sync. So good point by you to give the credit to the Arizona Coyotes. But in saying that, you have a team coming in here with a goaltender who's struggling. You have a team that's on a 9-day road trip. Stomp them right away. That's what the Blue Jackets coach and staff wanted them to do here tonight. It didn't get done. There's a lot of areas to clean up. They're not far off, but they got to get there and get back as a unit and not let this chopped up game affect them. They got frustrated in that. You're right. Arizona probably did that to them.
All right, now, one more thing. You've dropped 3 in a row. You looked at the teams they played in Florida. They were ready for the Panthers. They were ready for the Lightning. The result didn't go their way. Okay, I get that. They weren't ready tonight. The St. Louis Blues come in here on Friday. That is a team that the Blue Jackets historically seem to be ready for because they know how the Blues like to play. They know they like the roughhouse, and they know that they don't do that as much on the road as they do at home. So I would expect them to come out. If they don't come out on Friday with a lot more energy, that's a nice word to say. If they don't come out with more of that on Friday, I would be completely surprised against that St. Louis Blues team.
They'll be ready on Friday, and they'll address any situation that is talked about at the end of the game. It's always seemed to be addressed. They cleaned up faceoffs tonight pretty good, and they were having troubles there
after the first period.
You're right. But it's something that had to be addressed, so they will address the situation. They'll be ready for St. Louis.
All right, and that's the next game on the slate Friday night here at home against the St. Louis Blues. That'll do it for us. Jody, Shelley, Bob McElligott. We'll continue, though, with more. That ends our BlueJackets.com portion. Mark Wyant will bring you back on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.